Alright, so after unboxing this beautiful S26 in this sky blue color, it is time to take a look at some budget-friendly cases. Now before we do that, I do want to answer a question that many of you ask in these videos. Will these cases turn yellow? Yes, they will. These are all budget-friendly cases made of TPU, which is basically plastic and is flexible. TPU stands for thermoplastic polyurethane. Now the more flexible a case, the faster it will yellow. That's why PU cases from brands like D brand don't yellow. These are rigid and almost non-flexible due to the absence of thermoplastic. So if you do want a case that does not turn yellow, you will need to shell out more money for a premium brand. Now most of these cases except for JeTech are over $20 Canadian, which isn't exactly budget friendly, but they're still cheaper than premium brands. Now if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you know my picks are always Ringke, JeTech, Spigen and ESR. And if you're not a long-time viewer of the channel, you have to subscribe right now. Now I'll have links for these cases in the description box down below. And with all that out of the way, let's get started with the first case. Okay, so the first case we are taking a look at is from Ringke. Personally, I love their cases and I've used them in the past as well on my phones. So let's see how it performs here. Now one thing I had an issue with this case back in the iPhone 17 video, if you might have seen or noticed, is that the Magsafe strength wasn't as good as the other cases. So we'll see how it performs in this video. Now the flexibility, as you can see, is there, so obviously it is going to get yellow. Let's take a look at the fit around the phone. It does seem to be quite snug, which is nice. That's what you would want in a case. Now this back is a frosted finish, which I like on all my cases because these are not then that fingerprinty and also don't scratch that easily. And you can see the sky blue color of the S26 is showing off nicely with this case. So that's really good. Now another thing I do like with this case, as you can see from this angle, is the fact that the bottom and the top part of the case around the display is raised while the sides are not. I will point out that I do have a screen protector on this phone, so that's why it's almost flush with the case. Now I like this because when you are using a back gesture on Android, it does not kind of hinder the intuitiveness or the functionality of that, and that's the reason I like these cases. But the top and bottom are raised, so that means you can keep the phone facing down and the phone or the display won't get scratched or the screen protector won't get scratched, so that is really good. The next thing we'll take a look at is the camera cutout, which you can see right here, and it is indeed raised as well, so it will protect the camera lenses as well. And here are the bottom cutouts. Hopefully the camera is focusing, and these also seem to be quite precise, so that's really good. Now the other thing we're going to take a look at is the button clickiness. So let me unlock the phone, and this is how the volume up and down buttons are. They're quite clicky, which is nice, tactile, and then the power button works as well, so that's great. Now the other thing we'll take a look at is the Magsafe test. So here I have a heavy Magsafe charger from Casetify, and let's see how the phone performs. And it's not that bad, but I did expect a tiny bit more from this case. As you can see, the Magsafe comes off quite easily, which is not expected. But if you do have the phone just lying on the charger and you want to remove it, you do need to have some amount of force to do that. But even then, I did expect it to have some more Magsafe strength. Anyways, final thing we'll take a look at is how easy or tough it is to remove the case. And it is kind of tough, which is expected, so that's good. And as for the weight of the case, we'll take a look at that at the end of the video with the other cases so we can compare. But this was the Ringke case, and with that out of the way, we'll take a look at the next one. So the next case we are taking a look at is this one from ESR. ESR is one of my favorite brands. They make really good cases, so we'll see how this one performs. Now taking a look at flexibility, it does seem to be more flexible than the Ringke one. So maybe it will eventually get yellow faster than that one, but you'll find out if you do end up buying it. Now taking a look at the fit around the phone, it does seem to be snug, so that is good. Now this is a clear finish, not frosted. I could not find the frosted one here on Amazon Canada, but if you do, you should buy that one. I don't really like these clear ones, but it is showing the color of the phone pretty nicely, but it will have fingerprints as well. Not sure if you can see it on camera right now, but it eventually will. Now the next thing we'll take a look at is display protection. Now I do have a screen protector on, but even then there is a minor lip around the display, so the display will be protected in case you like to use the phone facing down. Now then we have the camera cutout. It is slightly larger to include the flash as well, and I think ESR kind of likes to do these kinds of cutouts, which isn't all that bad, but some people might not prefer it. It is although raised as well, so the camera lenses will be protected. Taking a look at the bottoms cutout, they are also exact, precise, whatever you want to call it, so that's also good. Now the next thing we'll take a look at is the button clickiness. So this is the volume button. These are quite clicky and tactile, whatever you want to call it, and so is the power button as well, so that's all really good. The next thing we'll take a look at is Magsafe strength. Hopefully it's better than Ringke, but we'll find out. It does seem to be better than Ringke. As you can see, it did take quite a while to get the Magsafe charger off the case or off the phone, so that's really good. It is indeed better than Ringke. Yeah, it's easily better than Ringke, as I can kind of feel the force required to pull this out of the Magsafe is more than the Ringke one, so that is good. Now the other thing we'll take a look at is how easy or tough it is to remove the case, and it is quite tough, which is nice. Now the final thing that's left is the weight, which we'll do at the end, and with that let's take a look at the next case. Alright, the next case we're taking a look at is this one from Spigen. Now it does have the black sides to it, which is kind of nice. I think it'll go nicely with this sky blue color, and Spigen, like the others, also make really good cases. They are probably one of the bigger brands in this budget friendly cases, you want to call it. Now looking at the flexibility, it is flexible, not as much as ESR or Ringke, but kind of flexible. Now taking a look at the fit around the phone, it does seem to be quite snug, which is nice. I'm also liking this sky blue and black combination. It does look really nice. And like the ESR, this is also a clear case. I could not find the frosted finish here in Canada, but always, if you do, you should buy that one because I like those cases more. Now this is how the back looks, and this is the sky blue color and the black accents of the case, which are looking really nice. Might be overkill, but let me know in the comments if you like this or not. Now the next thing is display protection, and as you can see, there is somewhat of a lip around the display. So if you do like to keep the phone facing down with a screen protector or without it, the display will be protected in that case. The next thing is a camera or the camera cutout, which is looking precise and is also raised to protect the camera lenses, which is awesome. Now the bottom cutouts, as you can see, are also quite precise, which is good. The next thing to do is the button clickiness, and as expected, the buttons are quite clicky. I will point out though, with this black accent, the phone or the bezels do look quite large, which is not a personal preference of mine, but let me know in the comments if you think I'm just being very nitpicky. Anyways, this is the power button, which is clicky, so the buttons are nice and clicky. The next thing to do is the Magsafe test. So let's pull out the Batman Magsafe charger, which I love, and it is indeed quite strong. Yep, as strong as ESR, if not more. and better than Ringke, of course. So that's good. That's what you would want in a Magsafe case. It sucks that these phones do not have Magsafe built in, like Samsung should have done that. But if you are using a case which is like 95% of the people, I think it's fine. Anyways, let's see how easy or tough it is to remove the case. And it's not that tough and not that easy, so kind of okay. The final thing is the weight, which we'll do at the end. And with that, let's take a look at the final case, which is from JeTech. Alright, the final case we're taking a look at is from JeTech, which is also a personal favorite of mine. It is also the most budget friendly out of all of these cases at just $12, I think, or $13. I'll put the exact amount here. But let's see how flexible it is and how it performs. It is kind of flexible. Eventually it will get yellow, so there's that. It is not that snug, but as long as you're not, removing the case every day, I think you should be fine. This is how it looks from the back. The sky blue color is showing off nicely. Also, as you can see, this is the clear finish. I could not get the frosted one here in Canada once again for this one. Looks like we're having a shortage of those cases. Anyways, it will show fingerprints and scratches, but there's that. The phone does look nice in this color. Anyways, looking at the display protection, as you can see, even with a screen protector on, there is quite a bit of lip around the display. So if you do put the phone facing down with or without a screen protector, the display should be protected. The next thing is the camera cutout. So I'm not sure if you can notice, but the individual camera cutout is going around the lens. So that's something that a lot of people liked in the iPhone video. And that's the case with the S26 here as well. So that's actually pretty good. +1 for JeTech. And then this is the raised cutout for the cameras, which are once again protected by the case. This is the bottom cutout, which is also precise as expected. And let's take a look at the button clickiness. And the buttons, as you can see or hear, are quite clicky. That's really good. Now the final thing to do is the Magsafe test. Hopefully it does better. Oh yeah, you can see it easily is better than ESR, Spigen, and Ringke. And the Magsafe charger is just not coming off at all. Whereas in the other cases, as you saw, it easily came off. So JeTech is not only the most budget friendly, but also has the best Magsafe strength, has individual cutouts for the cameras, and is probably the one that I would recommend. But the only thing left to do for these cases is to check the weight. So let's go do that and then I'll give my verdict for these cases. Alright, the final thing left to do is just to weigh these cases to see which one is the lightest and which one is the heaviest. So starting with Ringke, this one is just 30 grams, which is really good. ESR is 33 grams, also good. Spigen is 35 grams, and then JeTech is 33 grams. So we have Ringke as the lightest and Spigen as the heaviest. But with all the factors that we've taken a look at today in terms of, the budget, the Magsafe strength, and just button clickiness and everything, I think I would have to recommend the JeTech case over all these cases. This is the most budget friendly and the Magsafe strength is way better than the other cases. So if you're looking for a case to get for the S26, this is the one to get this year, which is JeTech. Now that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to subscribe and I'll catch you all soon in the next one.